The rats come in every size and receive all manner of treats when they behave. Displayed most prominently are his mischief of fancy rats. But Pavel trades in the garden. In garden variety rodents too. Exotic snake owners often pay him a visit. It's a wonder the squeaking and scratching haven't driven Pavel mad. But the truth of his sanity depends on who you're asking. These glowing eyes. Spotted rats, brown rats, long-toothed rats, vermin of every shape and color, all skittering madly on top of one another. Just, your typical rat vendor. And how's London's most famous monster hunter doing this fine day? Good. Had a wee contract, and Otto and I brought it off splendidly. Speaking of contracts, if you ever find yourself down sewer, I could use a couple more rats for my collection. I'm anticipating big sales for the weekend. You happen to trap one or two, I'll take them off your hands. If I come across any specimens, I'll make sure to snatch them up. 5 shillings apiece, provided they're whole and in good health. A rat with a limp or torn ear is of no use to me. Alright, Pavel, I'll see what I can do. Yeah, I just, you know what? I like where this is going. Pavel must have direct access to the sewers for this way, should he ever run low on rats. Should we catch rats for the rat catcher? I kind of want to see where that leads to. Let's give it a shot. Like, when you're playing a game like this, you're like, I see no way how this could affect the story in any way. There'll be like a final boss confrontation at the end, and Pavel's gonna throw a bag of rats on him. And he'll be like, we had 7 rats instead of 6. That's exactly the amount of rats it took. The day is saved, thanks to your rat catching in Chapter 5. Oh, Paco's gone. Interesting. Manhole cover. Lift it. See what's underneath. Here's a sizable cane rat. Good for Pavel's collection. Pinch a lot of him from my kit. We'll put him out like a light, and then it's off to a new home. Strange to think of this wee beastie is going to live a life of comfort, and not the grave like all of my other contracts. Try to look for another rat, huh? Happen to know there's not one in that crate. Or that trunk. If there's a rat in the boiler, it's probably boiled. About over here in this hideout. Come on. Waddle your way over there. If I was a rat, I'd live here. No cadaver down here, and that's all I need to see of this place. We'll leave it be. Maybe there's a rat over by this open wood? Or rotten wood? A pile of wood, is it squeaking? A tiny black nose twitches in front of me and at me from the pile of scrap wood. Look at this little scamp, he wants to play. If ever a rat needed rescuing, this is it. Sedate and capture the rat. Come to Teddy, little fellow. Alright. We did it. I don't think that could have gone much smoother. Honestly, I've been rolling a lot of critical failures. So the fact that I just had the stuff I need to catch rats feels pretty good. Hopefully these rats don't come back to bite me. You can get it? Because they bite things? Their teeth? Alright. Ooh, a bit of a hefty walk to Pavel's, though. Let's go this way, see if there's something new or interesting on the north side. You never know. Oh, hey, it's this guy. Hello, what can I do for you? Excuse me, sir, are you a private detective? Depends on who's asking, mister. Teddy Redgrave, a monster hunter extraordinaire. This here is my handmade contraption auto. Very much appreciate your mustache, good sir. Delightful, it speaks. Thank you, Mr. Otto. You're most certainly welcome. Well, Mr. Redgrave, I can see no sense in concealing my identity as someone who I've already heard is an upstanding monster hunter. Yeah, the name's Yves Chalamet Duval. It's very nice of you to introduce yourself to us. You seem like a decently forthcoming chap. Thanks for your time. For now, I'll bid you good day. Good day, Mr. Redgrave. All right. That was... I felt like that was going to go somewhere, and then it didn't. Oh, a motor car. Can I steal a part from it? Right in front of the police? A vehicle powered by the steam boiler from Arsenal Engines. Guess folks are trying to keep up with the pace of city life. But, excuse me, sir, are you a private detective? I am? Okay, bye. Like, it'd be the most suspicious conversation you can have with him. Just wanted to call you out publicly, that's all. Have a good day. Welcome back, Teddy. Got any furry packages? Ah, here you are. Hope they bring you much tin. It just occurred to me, like, I could just keep the rats. You never know when you need one. Very good. Your bounty, 10 shillings. Thank you. I won't be needing any more of the little fellers for the time being. An urchin who works for me as my cage is about full. I mean, that was just real interesting. Alright. I think we're about ready to talk to Silas. Should we give that a shot? Let's head for the airship. Ready to see Lord Baxton? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's rummage around his desk. Lots of numbers and drawings on there. Perhaps that's where Silas jots his ideas down. Not that I want to closely study him. Gotta respect a fellow engineer's privacy. I wanted to closely study them. Books hardly look worn. Either he doesn't have time to read or he's showing off. Rummage through his things. There's something about this guy that bugs me. Suppose Lord Silas goes all around the continent in his dirigible. Traveling like that must be good for the soul. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I think I've done enough wandering. Many of the more advanced components that allow this dirigible to fly and maneuver were made by Arsenal. That's so. Yeah, this organization is the future of the Empire. I believe that all the way down to my bones. You'll see what I mean once you've had the chance to meet Silas. Ah, here he comes now. This fellow certainly has Dante's loyalty all sewn up. Mr. Bragg here. Mr. Bragg, hello. So glad you found the time to meet with us. This is a capable inventor, Teddy Redgrave, and his personal automaton, Otto. Mr. Redgrave, Otto, pleased to make your acquaintance. As we were discussing the other day, I think Otto would make the perfect test case for that speech interfacing technology we've been working on. My speech patterns are very advantageous. Do you mean advanced? Seems like there's still room for improvement. My, what a precious little machine. Don't worry, Otto. Any changes we make will be for the better, I promise. Yeah, Mr. Redgrave. According to Mr. Ziegler, Otto is entirely your design, is that correct? Yeah, Otto is my creation and mine alone, but you understand he's more of a friend to me than a servant. Marvelous. I feel exactly the same way about certain of my own projects. Mr. Redgrave really is one of a kind, sir. I place my faith in him 100%. I wonder, Mr. Redgrave, if you know anything about Arsenal's history. Arsenal Engines is more than a money-making machine. Any simpleton can manage that. My aim is technology for the masses. The small, the ignorant, the indignant. I wish to make the same miracle possible for them as for millionaires like myself. You must want to be known for another motivation besides the typical greed of a business magnate. If I don't chase this greatest of dreams, then some less charitable tycoon will take the lead. Possibly a plutocrat with too much stake in petroleum-fueled engines. Bloody ghastly stuff, that is. Yeah, no kidding. See if Arsenal was involved in the expedition to Atlantis. Many of our newfangled technologies owe their pedigree to the discovery of the centuries, drowned Atlantis and her steam-powered wonders. Since your company is so dominant in the field, I ask, was Arsenal involved in that expedition? An astute question. Yeah, my father was. Well, he was ahead of his time. I don't like to brag about his involvement in the discovery of Atlantis, but really, how else could a Cyclops have built an industrial empire like Arsenal? And of course, paid the price for his genius. Terrible thing. Sounds like there's a hidden tragedy behind the fortune. Excuse me, are you saying your father suffered some misfortune? He was killed in an accident. Notice he said his father was killed rather than he passed on. Tragedy is sometimes the crucible that makes a dwarf a Cyclops. I hope you feel the same, Mr. Bragg. Ugh. Boy, I can't win any rolls. I cannot say if I agree or not, Mr. Redgrave. Let's not dwell on such a morbid subject. Ask about his carriage. See, I'm disabled. I've got a fake leg, so I feel like it's not particularly rude to ask about his. Sir, I see you have suffered from a paucity of operational limbs, much like myself. Is that carriage of your own design? It is. I was quite proud of it at the time, but I fear I've settled for too little. That is an error of judgment I do not allow myself anymore. I am designing a mechanical leg similar to your own. Well, no, that's not precisely correct. He's speaking of uninterrupted neural feedback loop. That's right, Dante. I won't simply convey me about on my errands, but transmit the same nerve impulses as an actual leg, foot, and toes. The bold industrialist gives my own enhancements the old once over. Your own prosthetics are quite clever, obviously better than something one could pick up at the hobby shop. But the ones I'm working on will surpass the function of natural limbs. Brutal, stand up for yourself and your mechanical enhancements. Boy, the brutal options suck, but I feel the obligation to use them if I'm brutal. Did I hear you correctly, sir? Did you just compare this leg of mine to the gewgaw one could find in a tinkerer shop? Have you know, I've stood on this very leg to face such horrors as to make the stoic wet his breeks. Can you say the same about that little toy engine? Insulting the very conveyance which compensates for his disability was perhaps not the wisest move. Come now, Teddy, you can't. I can answer for myself, thank you, Dante. It's natural for two men of intellect such as ourselves to compete. Perhaps not only natural, but desirable? But the miraculous devices of which I speak are yet to come, while your handsome invention is already serving its owner, and by your account quite admirably. For that reason, I do not hesitate to concede the argument. Let's talk about Otto. This is kind of a brutal conversation. Discover more about the new module for Otto. Dante has piqued my interest about a module you've designed, but I haven't heard much in the way of specifics. Brilliant. Please rein me in if I start to ramble, Mr. Redgrave. I can be quite verbose when it comes to such fascinating topic. The module you speak of is the determination core. I had originally conceived of a very complicated series of punch cards, but it would have been too bulky. An entire room by my estimates. Too many punch cards. Exactly, Otto. Would have required a separate machine to swap them out. Consolidated workflow, one machine instead of two. The determination engine is installed alongside the regular punch card reader. It facilitates sophisticated branching logic through a use of tiny juxtaposed cylinders covered in minuscule protrusions, unlike a series of interlocking music boxes. A lot of delicate pieces all stored within a small device. I would need to fetch my diagrams to explain it properly, but suffice to say, once it's installed, both Otto's linguistic and decision-making abilities will be significantly increased, exponentially so. In fact, my speech patterns are very advantageous. It goes so far to say Otto will be the smartest automaton in London. And if you say in London, you might as well say in the world. Seeing is believing, I'll reserve judgment for now. In the world, yes, that is positive. Is the new module safe? The level of self-awareness is amazing for one man or dwarf project. But yeah, my best friend, it's perfectly safe. Alright, now that we've kind of soothed tempers a little bit, what do you hope to achieve, catering to your best technology to the poor? The idea has merit, but I wonder if it's achievable. Nothing could be simpler, my good fellow. Or at least it's simple for a company operating at Arsenal's level. I shall establish a few key items that every man can use. Better clear the old earwax, Teddy. You'll want to hear this. Example, a self-renewing light source, or a small powered cart for moving heavy items or carrying goods to market. Things like that. I subsidize the initial production cost to sell these things at prices which simply cannot be refused, thereby undercutting the competition. To my own quite numerous workers, I will offer deferred payment deducted from their pay. Excuse my asking, but wouldn't that be inordinately expensive? I don't wish to sound like a braggart, but it would be a little more than a line item for me. Alongside the introduction of these few mechanical assistants for the common man, automation means more efficiency in my factories, more productivity for the individual worker. but the honest laborers would have to adapt. It's a good point, Dante, but we would help them do so, because what will save on overall efficiency, we can increase pay across the board. Winning higher wages, our workers will then be able to purchase even more of our life-enhancing technology. What if other companies are wise enough to catch on and start to mimic Arsenal? Then all the better. Competition is healthy in a case like this. That's sound business, but there's something else on my mind. Perhaps I should ask him all that I can. He seems hard to book a meeting with. Well, I'm running out of things. Get to the business of acquiring an upgrade. With all due respect, Mr. Bragg, the sooner money changes hands, the sooner I can get to tinkering, and Otto can start employing his new faculties. I like new faculties. Indeed, I won't bother you with the actual costs involved with the determination engine's creation. I've no wish to make you dizzy. Dante and I consider you a partner in this venture. Because you know the ins and outs of your creation, you'll be well suited to test the working protocols of Arsenal's new device. While you and Otto enjoy the enhanced functionality, we profit on your expert observations and advice. Therefore, we only ask you a deposit of £10 sterling. We shall reconvene, let's say in 6 weeks, compare notes, and if you're amenable, discuss payments in full. I don't have £10 at the moment. Judging by the look on your face, it'd seem quite uncommon for a chap like you to be down on the felt. Not to worry, Redgrave, we can settle up later. I'm sure you're good for it. Take good care of it, my friend. Yours will be the first field test. If this test requires a field, then we shall have to go far outside London, Mr. Teddy. I've done my best to convey the importance of this project, Mr. Redgrave, but truly, you are a part of something even bigger than what we've discussed. How's that? Oh, sometimes I feel as though my John's running on a separate engine to my brain. But I've enjoyed our conversation so much, I simply must tell you, in confidence, mind. In the next couple of days, we will be testing the medical applications of a similar device on blooded species. And his machinations are not only for automatons, perilously interesting. But I am under contract, and more than that I cannot say. Now I bid you a good day, Mr. Redgrave. Look forward to hearing your opinion in 6 weeks' time. We'll talk soon, Teddy. Good day, Mr. Redgrave. Otto. Good day. Let's just stand here awkwardly for a moment then. Let's get out of here. Meet Dante at Arsenal Engines. Is this over yet? Yeah, I can't talk to them anymore. To the wharf. To the wharf. Let's see. We've done so much. Think we just go to the workshop? And let's put this thing in the thing. Do a lot of work in automation myself. The idea is like if you automate something to do someone's job, they're just freed up to do another job. Or at least that's the propaganda I keep reading. And so far, in my own work, I've seen that to be true. I fully automated like 4 people's jobs and they were just given higher positions with higher pay. I should double check with them to make sure that actually came true. But at the moment it was true. Now that the economy's bad. The economy's always bad. Never mind.